Yes, the great Russia hoax is finally over. Oh, you haven't read about it in the newspapers? Well, here's why. The global elites were absolutely shocked by the Brexit result in 2016 and even more horrified by Trump winning the US presidency in the election of November that year. They had to find a means, a way of delegitimizing both results. And guess what it was? It was Russia. And so it began. In America, accusations that the Trump campaign had colluded with Russia. In this country, it was even more serious here because it was said that Arron Banks, a major backer of the Leave campaign, had in fact been funded by Russia. And so it began, led especially by one journalist on The Guardian called Carol Cadwalladr, but believe you me, the BBC and everybody else were involved. And it went on and on. And of course, yours truly was dragged into the center of it. Yes, it was said. And in fact, the Today program on Radio 4 made it clear I was under investigation by the FBI. I may well be arrested the next time I land at an airport in New York. Hillary Clinton openly said Nigel Farage is funded by the Russians, and it went on and on and on. In Arron Banks's case, it got so serious that he was referred to the Electoral Commission. They found no wrongdoing of any kind. And the parliamentary committee, headed up by a so-called conservative, then referred him to the National Crime Agency, who took over a year to report, causing huge damage to him and to his business. As far as Trump was concerned, it simply never ended. Mueller investigations, you name it. Well, in the space of the last week, two things have happened, but you won't have heard about them. The first is that after a very lengthy legal battle, Arron Banks has won his defamation case against this journalist on The Guardian, Carol Cadwalladr. In the end, The Guardian ditched her and she was on her own, but it was them that published all the stuff, and Channel 4 and the BBC that picked up on it. He's won his defamation case. She's had to pay him £35,000 in damages. And within the next couple of weeks, we'll get the settlement for the legal fees, which Arron, I think, is going to win nearly all of. But over in America, special counsel investigation, a man called John Durham, after 4 years of investigating, has finally reported, and he's made it clear that the FBI and judicial authorities in America leapt on this without any true verified evidence and behaved in ways that were unbecoming of organizations of that stature in America. Basically, what Durham has said is the whole thing was a concocted series of lies. So it's over. And yet, in America, there's very little coverage of this Durham report after 4 years concluding. And in this country, the same newspapers and TV channels that ran front pages on Arron Banks and myself and our links with Russia, I haven't seen a single word, not one word about Banks winning the case, not one word of apology. And it kind of shows you what we're up against in this great battle. We may have got Brexit over the line and have left, but our borders are still open. EU regulations are nearly all still in place. And I'm afraid the global elite, the deep state, call it what you will, do not want any change to the system. So we won our battles back in 2016. We've got some even bigger ones to win next year. I absolutely pray that Trump gets back the presidency in America. And in this country, I just don't know what is going to happen. I think in the short term, Labour will win, but at some point, we will come back and beat the establishment again. All the Russia hoax tells you is we're up against people who launched the most disgraceful attempt in democratic history to overturn results in both Britain and America. We've been cleared, we've been vindicated on both sides of the pond, but I'm afraid the battle against these dreadful people is going to go on for years and years.